Hello, everyone. We are here with another Laptop Freedom alumni, Tamara, right? Did I say her name right? Okay, great, because I know there's different ways to pronounce it. And we're going to hear about her journey from being a virtual assistant to now being an OBM, right? Yep. So I'm going to let her start off with what drove you to the Laptop Freedom Program?
Oh my goodness. So prior to entrepreneurship, I was a corporate droid. I worked for Starbucks and Walt Disney World as an operations manager for many, many years. And I loved it, but I hated the 14-hour days, mandatory 6 days a week. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And like the lack of freedom. So my grandmother died in 2018, and my boss was great about it. But the fact that I had to ask to take bereavement to go be with my family, and I only had 5 days, where obviously I would have ideally liked to stay with my mom for significantly longer, that didn't sit right with me. And then that same Christmas, I had my family, my husband's family, everyone was at our apartment at the time, and my store's ceiling caved in, and I had to leave Christmas dinner to go deal with that. So that was the last straw for me. I was like, okay, I gotta get out of here.
Once you hit Christmas, once you ruin Christmas, it's over in this industry.
Game over. I had known for a long time that I needed to get out and do my own thing. I've always been very entrepreneurial, but between my grandmother and then Christmas and the fact that like I wanted to have kids and this type of role just didn't fit in with my vision. So that November, so right before the ceiling caved in, I had found Katie Kidd, who was leading Laptop Freedom at the time, through a Google search because I was like, how to make money on start my own business. And thank God for SEO because she popped up. And then I jumped right in. I opened a credit card, put down $2,000 I didn't have, and yeah, and then here we are. Like years later, I made my money back within like the first month.
Yeah.
I think it was the community itself and just like the step by step that Laptop Freedom gives you all the confidence. So I just
And I kind of want to touch on that. You know, Tamara and I are not here to give anybody financial advice. This is literally, but I did the same thing. My husband and I looked at it together, and I said to him, I said, I could, with my credit score and with my current job of making 70 grand a year, I said, I could totally get a free interest credit card for like 18 months, make the minimum $25 a month payment, and just charge everything I need for my business, and boom. And I was able to pay mine back within I did the first 6 months. Like I was one of those people that used it like, oh, okay, well, I'm making money. Now I'm going to put this to, whatever. But there are so many, when people say they can't invest in themselves, we as entrepreneurs that have taken that leap, know that you're full of BS because there's so many different avenues that you can take in a smart, financial, secure way. And that's what you and I did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like interest free. I think mine was 18 months as well. And I was like, what case scenario? I make no money and I'm out $2,000. Okay, so I stopped
in 18 months. Like you still like you could go get a job at Starbucks or a part-time job or tutor or something. There's always ways to pay it back quickly within 18 months. Like come on.
Exactly. And it was a hard pill to swallow because once you dive into entrepreneurship, there's that whole money mindset that you get introduced to and all that fun stuff. But I think that first investment was the hardest, but it was the best. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars in my education since then. And nothing sticks in my mind as like the most difficult decision as that first one, but I don't regret it. Like it changed my entire life. That initial investment changed it was enough money that I had skin in the game to actively wake up every morning and show up and hustle and put my name out there and get those clients.
Yeah.
So that I proved to myself, it's like this investment was worth it. And it's a lot of like having faith in yourself as well. Just being in that point in your life where you're like, I am worth spending $2,000 on. Like my future is worth spending $2,000 on it.
It's the way we shift it. Like you can think of it like, oh my gosh, I don't have $2,000 because XYZ. But when you think I'm worth to spend money on, like how much do you buy your skincare products? How much are your clothes? What's that vacation that you just took? How about your vehicle? That's what I always think of is, we had one car. So I just said to my husband, I go, it's like buying a car for like a cheap car. Just a while, like, but yeah.
It's all how you view it. And once you have the knowledge, no one can take it away. It's the same as like going to college. Like once you have that degree, like no one can take it from you.
You can apply it to so much. I applied what I learned in the Laptop Freedom Program to my job that I was currently at. And I was like, oh, wait, I want to be great for you guys because that's just my personality. That's my work ethic. But at the same time, I had to scale back a little bit because they were like, oh, where'd you learn this? How do you? And I wanted to possibly have them as a client after I left.
Yeah, it's like y'all can have all of this later.
Yeah, it totally helps you. So it like expands your knowledge, which is just so important as women anyway. Like it's just great. So
it's amazing. And it doesn't get depreciated. So like that's another thing. Like a lot of the investments that we make, our laptops, our cars, whatever, after a while they'll break. But this is the best investment that just you keep adding onto it. It's a foundation that you build everything else on.
Right. Awesome. Love that. So now I would like to so let's talk about like your first virtual assistant journey. So from Laptop Freedom to your VA business to now what you do. How did that all conspire?
Yeah. So a few weeks into Laptop Freedom, I want to say like 4 to 6 weeks into Laptop Freedom, I got my first client. I took like sales calls at my during my lunch break at work. I would like go on like fake smoke breaks because I don't smoke. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go have a smoke. I'd have like a 10-minute like conversation. Oh my God,
I love that.
Make it happen.
Dying over that. That is such a good idea.
And I got my first few clients. Yeah. I mean, it's no one's business. But I got my first few clients. And then that May, I was like waiting to quit until I bought my house because it's the whole thing with like securing a mortgage and being a business owner. And I had only been in it for like 5 months. So I bought my house. I got married. That all happened the same week. And then I quit my job like right after. I got married and I came back. I'm like, hey, I'm leaving. So I gave him like a
very 1950s of you.
Right? It's like I'm a housewife now. I gave them like a 6-week notice because I was running operations for them. So I'm like, I'm going to give you guys some time. And they were really great about it. Like I said, my team at Starbucks, phenomenal people, incredible. It was just never about that.
Right.
So I left and then I went like head first into my business. I booked out really quickly. Once I went full time, which is about July 2019. Yeah, July 2019. Those like first 6 months, I made about 35,000. And then come the pandemic, my business blew up.
Yeah.
My business blew up. I had slowly shifted away from virtual assistant work into online business management, OBM work, only because that's the nature of like my background, where I came from, what I like to do. So I quickly moved into that role with a lot of my current clients. So it's not like I had to release my clients and then go get OBM clients. I had that conversation of like, hey, I'm shifting my role. This is what my new role is going to look like come this date. Would you like to increase your investment and just meet me where I'm at? And a lot of my clients were at that place in their business where they needed that kind of support. So it just kind of worked out. And then I got pregnant early 2020. And that's when my business really took off. Because like, what better time than when you're like half dead in the first trimester?
I know the feeling of that. It's awful. It's like, oh, it's so great at the same time, but then you're like, crap, I do not feel good.
It was really, really tough. But that's when I decided to hire before I was ready. And I hired a project manager for my team, and she manages the day-to-day operations with the client, and then a virtual assistant under us so that she can execute basically everything that we were putting into place. Once I had my baby in October, my business then quadrupled. Of course, again, best time ever. I'm half dead with a newborn. And that's when we doubled our team. So our revenue doubled, our team doubled. So now we have like an agency. So at this point, this month I've actually stepped out of the operation. I'm only doing like integrator, OBM support for very, very like VIP high level clients. And then I have OBMs and VAs under me, under the agency. So I started an agency. It was a whole happy accident. I didn't set out to do this.
It's kind of, I mean, I don't know if you, so, okay, so we're both moms for anybody who's watching this. I have a 3-year-old and a 7-month-old or 7-week-old, and your little one is now going to be is 6 months.
She just turned 7 months. Yeah.
7 months. Okay. So I saw this with my business too. My kids, like it was like their existence boosted my business. It was weird. Like we just get into this. I want to support my kids. I want to show them that they can be driven, that they can do this, that anything in life is possible. And I want to be there for them. And it like, God just met me where I was and was like, hey, here you go. Like, here's everything you wanted. Here's all the struggles with it, but here's everything you wanted. And it's just, and then I see that for you too. Like, oh, I got pregnant and my business skyrocketed. 6 months later, had my baby. My business skyrocketed. Like it's just weird. I've seen that with a lot of mompreneurs. Like our kids really drive us.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, and it's like the same as having employees. Like once you have someone else that you're responsible for, because at one point, like my husband and I, it's like, we were like, hey, if it fails, and we'll be eating like Spam and ramen and whatever. And now that we have our baby, it's just like, hey, like we can't afford to have any of this fail. Like we need to build.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing how, when you have someone else to look after, and parenthood isn't for everyone. And that's not to say that just because you're not a parent, your business isn't going to skyrocket. The pandemic, just like Tamara just said, it boosted my virtual assistant business into my coaching business. Because once my business exploded as a VA, everybody was like, wait, how do you do that? Where do I go? Like, how do I learn this? What do I do? And so it just kind of slid into it naturally. And that's what this world does. There's so much, this online industry, there's just so much that you can do. And you just slide into it when you have the knowledge and you're ready.
So true. So true. And yeah, it's not just about kids, it's also like what you want. Once you get very clear on your goals, like even before, because like for a long time we were like, yeah, the kids were like a cool concept, but like not for us. So for a long time, like we were building things, it was like the thought of freedom. We wanted to travel, we wanted to retire early. So like that was a driving force. And every single time we got crystal clear on what the goal was, a new client would come, a new inquiry would come through. A client would upgrade their package, their hourly package, or they move into a value-based package. Like something would happen. So it's like God, the universe, however you want to see that, like you're always being taken care of. You just have to be very, very clear as to what you want and take action in alignment to what your goals are. And I feel like you're always going to be taken care of.
Yeah, you can't just, oh, I want this, so I'm going to get it. No, I want this and I'm going to work towards it, and then you get rewarded. That's how it works. And I think having your mindset around that is, for anyone who's watching this, it can be a hard concept, and we're not here to shame you if you're not there yet, but knowing that there are women that are doing this, that are making it happen for us, retiring early, investing, paying for our kids' college, being there for our children, being there for our family, being there for our friends, and traveling the world. Like we can have it all through just a simple foundation of a program.
Yeah. And it's wild. It's mind blowing. And again, like I said, best decision ever, just taking that leap of faith. It was like other women's testimonials of their success. For me, it wasn't discouraging, like, oh, like, or didn't even put me in comparison, even though I have had that come up in my journey where I do go into comparison mode. But in the beginning, it was like, oh, if she could do it, it's got to work for me too. Like it's a step by step. It's a blueprint. It's a blueprint. So yeah, there's a bit of luck and like while you're getting your clients, but once you put, it's a numbers game. Once you put your name out there and you get enough inquiries out there and you start talking to enough people, eventually you're going to land someone who's then going to introduce you to someone else and like increase your confidence, and your business is going to blow up. It's just all about numbers and networking and being surrounded by people in the same frequency. That was a huge thing. Being
Mhm.
surrounded by women who had the same goals as I did was massive.
Yes. Ooh, we should talk about that. Yeah. So I don't know how you became, so I guess this is something I want to ask and we can lead up to that, but how did you find the Laptop Freedom Program?
Yeah. So I was Googling. I Googled a lot. And then I came across the Laptop Freedom website that then led me to Facebook, the Facebook like group. I don't know if there was a group
Yeah.
or, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was at that time. And that's where I connected with Katie. And we got talking, and I think it was like 48 hours after I found it that I was like, just take my money. Like, here you
You take my
go.
money.
I was like, I'm ready. But yeah, so it was just a lot of Googling. I was Googling a lot of like work from home tips, how to make money at home. Um, and for me, like, I'm not a fan of the MLM like business model. It's not for me. I wanted to make my way. So then stumbled across virtual assistants, and I was like, oh, like this is a way for me to just continue doing like what I like in business, and what and supporting other entrepreneurs and like doing what they want and choosing who I want to work with. That was like a big thing for me. It's like I get to choose who I want to work with and set my own rules. So once I discovered that that was a thing, that wasn't a scam, I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm here. Take my money. I'm ready.
Yeah. And I know that there are a lot of women that come to the Laptop Freedom Program and they're like, oh, this is too good to be true, because they've Googled, they've searched, they've tried. You know, it took me 4 years to find the Laptop Freedom Program. And when I found it, I signed. Like,
Yeah.
I did have a little bit of scarcity. I remember saying to Katie, I'm going to go with your next one. And she just said, I don't know if I'm going to have another one. And I was like, oh crap. Okay, here's my credit card.
Yeah.
But we understand that, you know, it's scary. Oh, I'm not going to get clients. Just because Sally got clients, that doesn't mean that I'm going to get clients. But the community really pushes you. You're around so many women that not only are doing the same thing as you, but they want the same thing and they support you in a way. And it's like this new profound friendship of all of us succeeding. And it creates this amazing journey and atmosphere of success. And you feed off of each other. Like once that first person gets their client, it's like, oh my gosh, my classmate got a client, so I'm going to be getting one next, or I'm next. And so knowing that, just from with what Tamara and I are saying, you know, it has a lot to do with it. You know, you can read all the free research that you want and try to make it on your own, and we wish you the best of luck. But there is so much success and learning with doing it in a group program with other women.
It also shrinks time. That's the thing. It's like free resources. Anyone can figure their way out to the final product. It can take you 4, 5, 6, 10 years. Or you can pay up and get a roadmap, and it'll take you, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing for me. It's like time is my biggest asset. Once you lose time, you don't get it back. Whereas money, it's renewable. I can always make more money. So that was like, if you guys can save me a year or 2 or 5, I'm fine with it. And that still applies today, where it's like, if someone can teach me how to do something in 3 months that would have taken me 2 years to learn, I'll pay you whatever amount of money, because I know that I can then take that knowledge and just make that money back. So that was like a big thing for me with like Laptop Freedom, because if I would have been able to do it by myself, I would have been able to do it already. Like I would have been able to do it. I was like, 27 at the time. I would have figured it out by now, but I haven't. So obviously something's not working. I'm missing something integral. And for me, it was that confidence and the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I was also scared of entrepreneurship, to be honest. My dad's an entrepreneur. My sister-in-law is an entrepreneur, and I didn't realize there was so much education behind the scenes. I thought they just willy-nilly'd everything, and they did not. And when I learned everything, I was like, wow, this is a lot easier than I thought it was. No wonder why you guys are so successful.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that there are struggles.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But with anything, you're going to have struggles in a 9 to 5.
Everything in life is a struggle at some point in some way. But with the foundation, it just makes it easier to get through the struggle with the support and all of that. So,
oh yeah. And years later, I'm still going back to some of the modules, not so
me
much
too.
for, yeah, isn't that crazy? And it's like not so much for like the tech parts of it, but it's just like, hey, this was like a really good way of explaining something. If I'm trying to explain something to like my client, for example, it's like, because sometimes you just need to like make it as easy as possible. Like this is how you get from point A to point B. And it's just like, Katie really explained it really well, or Rebecca really said this really awesome thing. And I don't remember the exact thing. So I'll go back, or there was this epic worksheet that I need to refer back to. So I refer back to the program at least once every 3 or 4 months. I go back, I log back in, and I just check it out.
Yeah, we have access to it for life. Like,
yep,
silver platter. Here you go. It doesn't go away within the 3 months that you have the 4 months that you have the program. It's there forever.
Yeah, it's a forever resource, which is great as you start to get more clients and you start to like flex some of those other muscles that you might have not with those first few clients. Maybe you start off with social media and Canva, and as you grow, you need to like tap into MailChimp or ActiveCampaign. Like it's all in there. Like the basics are all in there, and then you don't have to like spend hours trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here. I mean, a big synopsis of Tamara and I's conversation today is just the support around the foundation and getting out there and taking action. And it happens. It just happens quickly. And we are so excited for your growth. And when you posted that in the alumni community, I was just like, I messaged Rebecca. I go, she's on my list to interview. Like, that is awesome. She completely shifted. And I wanted to learn more. And I hadn't met you yet. So,
yes, I know. I see you around all the time. I'm like, oh, I hope I get to talk to her one day. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for being here.